Eminem shocks the world and drops a surprise album with no forewarning. Lil Wayne and Birdman, finally there is peace in Louisiana. Lil Uzi Vert and Logic both announced albums. And Doja Cat, is her career over before we even got started? All this and more on BPTV Tunes, episode 4. Hello, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I am TheNightsHero, and you're watching episode 4, numero cuatro, of BPTV Tunes. So let's get right into it. Our top story of the week. The one, the only Slim Shady himself has shocked the entire world and dropped a brand new album with no type of pre-promotion, no type of warning, no type of anything. The album is titled Kamikaze, and the reviews on it, I've listened to it myself a few times. I can't really put a full album review on this particular show. Maybe we'll have more of that next week. But the reviews on it so far and the response has been really good. Eminem's last couple albums and some of his songs maybe leave something to be desired for a lot of people. But this album, it seems like old school Slim Shady is back and a lot of people are loving it. Also, with old school Slim Shady comes a lot of controversy, and Eminem has beef with not everybody, not as much as Nicki Minaj, but plenty of people. He dropped shots at Charlamagne the God. He dropped shots at Joe Budden. He dropped shots at Machine Gun Kelly, among others. Some of those people, he dropped shots at them multiple times. Now, his beef with Joe Budden, I'm no Joe Budden fan. You will get not much Joe Budden love here, but I think his beef with Joe Budden is a little bit ridiculous. He's upset because Joe Budden didn't like one of his songs and in some of his albums, the Revival album, some of the reviews on it was not good from some people. And I think it's ridiculous for you to beef with people because they didn't like one of your albums. Like, honestly, two of my favorite rappers of all time, Childish Gambino and Kanye West. They have bad songs and have bad albums sometimes. I'm sorry. So, look, Eminem, I'm glad that your new album, great album. And I understand, hey, this happens when you drop a new album. Just like we said with Nicki, you gotta have beef with people. Well, you don't have to have beef with people, but sometimes when you have beef with people, it helps to get that hype up about your album. So, hey, much love to him, but we're glad to see the old Slim Shady is back, and we hope to continue to see it. And keep talking mess about Trump. We like that a lot, too. The second story of this week goes to the long-awaited beef, well, the much-hyped beef that has been going on for years, longer than the beef between the Hatfield and McCoys, between Birdman and Lil Wayne, finally appears to be over. Birdman did publicly apologize to Lil Wayne on stage at the Louisiana Festival in New Orleans. If you don't know, these two have had beef and lawsuits going back and forth, mostly because Lil Wayne feels like he stole money from him. And I don't know, that this happens a lot when you're an artist and you're on a label. You feel like you should have gotten paid more than you probably should have, especially if you're the owner of a particular label. And they've been going back and forth, but now it appears that Lil Wayne is completely out of contract with Birdman, and he can finally drop that Carter 5 album that the world has been waiting for, or maybe he won't. We don't know what's going to happen with that, but we're just glad to see the beef over. On this show, we talk a lot about beef between people. We're glad to see some beef ending. The third story of the week goes to somebody we saw last week, had the video of the week, Doja Cat. So Doja Cat, in case you don't know, brand new artist. She has over 4 to 5 million views at this point with the song I'm a Cow. It's a fun song. We got mixed results to it last week. It's a fun song. You can have fun sometime, guys. But Doja Cat may have tanked her own career with one tweet. This tweet, she said, I called a couple of people faggots when I was in high school in 2015. Does that mean I don't deserve respect? I've said faggot roughly 15,000 times in my life. Does saying faggot mean you hate gay people? Do I hate gay people? I don't think I hate gay people. Gay is okay. So, here's what we have to say to Doja Cat. If you're going to start a music career and you are expecting to have a lot of following on the internet, don't say faggot a bunch of times. It's just not a good idea. To be honest with you, if you want my opinion on it, this is something that she said like a bunch of years ago. But I'm gonna just let you, like, honestly, the LGBT community is not the most forgiving community. You should have kept this one to yourself. Upcoming music. We got a bit of news this week. First, Lil Uzi Vert. He on Instagram. We don't have an exact date yet, but he did let teased on Instagram that he has a lot of new stuff dropping soon, and has with the hashtag Eternal Etake, which is the rumored name of his next album. Also, in Lil Uzi Vert, he got a Bible thrown at him at his concert this week, mainly because, well, there's rumors that he's a devil worshiper, or are there rumors? What I understand is that he says that you're supposed to pronounce his name Lil Lucifer. You guys should let me know. I don't know about that whole thing. But yeah, Lil Uzi Vert is dropping an album, and by the way, on his album cover, apparently the gates of heaven or the gates of hell, or I don't know what's going on with his album cover, are on the cover. So yeah, Lil Uzi Vert has a huge following, and he's got a new album coming out. So big ups to Lil Uzi's fans, I guess. I don't even know what to say about that. Logic also announced that he would be dropping an album this week. Young Sinatra the Fourth will be coming out September 28th. We know how these things go with album release dates. Right now we're saying September 28th. We'll see if it actually comes out September 28th. But Logic, he is another one with a growing fan base, and Logic's okay. Like, he's got some depressing songs sometimes, but Logic's not a terrible rapper. I would actually listen to a few Logic songs. So, we'll see what happens with this album with Logic, and I think he's gonna do pretty well with his album numbers compared to some other people. So, can't wait to see Logic's album. So, the album of the week. Not the album, the video of the week comes from 50 Cent, Uncle Murder, and the one and only Tekashi 6ix9ine. I so boom, first off, all y'all niggas suck my dick. Matter of fact, suck my dick with your mother's lip. Stupid. Niggas running out their mouth. Y'all dead ass like I will put you in your fucking mouth. So, that was the video of the week. If I were Tekashi 6ix9ine and I had a sentencing coming up soon, I would not be having brand new videos of me coming out. And I know it's a fake video, but I would not have fake videos of me stealing police cars and doing all types of violent stuff when I could potentially go to jail. Personally, I felt like the man should have sat this one out. But who am I to say it? Maybe, like, who am I? Hey, cool. I would also say that people should be very careful about who they work with. 50 Cent, again, 50 Cent knows what he's doing, and he's known for being controversial and things like that. But this man is a convicted pedophile, and I mean, he got banned from the MTV stage, and there's a lot of things that I think that young rappers, especially young males, that they try to hold over them longer than they should have. But personally, I take pedophilia pretty seriously. So I don't know why people are still working with him, especially so publicly. But hey, again, they have publicists. They got all the money. They know things that I don't. So cool. But be careful. All right. So the question of the week comes from the one and only Mafioso Live. Who is on my Mount Rushmore of musicians? This is the best question we've had so far. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is my Mount Rushmore, and I will put whoever I want on my Mount Rushmore. So, number one, you gotta put Tupac on there because I think it would just be like wrong to not have Tupac on there. Like, especially you gotta no matter what you do, you gotta like have an ode to that gangster rap, that late '90s rap and everything like that. Even earlier before gangster rap. So like you can't put all the NWA on there. I think Tupac did a good job of transitioning. He had that gangster rap, but Tupac spoke to more people with his music than I think any other rapper. He influenced so many people, and yes, he was influenced by a lot of rappers before him. And like, if you talk to old heads, they're gonna say, "Whoa, what about Big L and all these guys?" Yes, we understand that there were rappers before Tupac, and there was rap before the '90s and everything like that. Yes, I get it. Calm down, but yeah, Tupac, I felt he did maybe a better job than anybody of bridging the gap between, first of all, showing that gangster side and showing your softer side and really speaking to something that could be positive and influencing tons of people after him. If you talk to almost any rapper that came up in the 90s, they would say that Tupac influenced their movies. But okay, so again, and this is where I think there would be arguments of who's on my Mount Rushmore. This is my Mount Rushmore. I would put Kanye West on there, pre-Make America Great Again Kanye West. Kanye West, first of all, when it comes to, he was one of the first rappers, not first, but with the whole make your own beats thing. Like, mostly, before then, most people, you were just a producer or you were a rapper, and you could do one or the other. Now, you can do both. You don't have to, you can executive produce your own album. That's what most people are doing nowadays. Look at J. Cole and so on and so forth. So, Kanye West, also, he was another one of those people, like, of course, this is later on in the early 2000s and everything like that, where you don't have to be a gangster in order to be a rapper. Like, when he first came out, Kanye West spoke to so many things, and none of them were killing people. Kanye West, with Jesus Walks, Jesus Walks, you're just a guy who was, like, saying how he felt about God, like, and about being a Christian, like, and then, no, it wasn't perfect and everything, a lot of things that he said, but he was speaking real. He was being real. Just the College Dropout album, the Late Registration album, the Graduation album, it was real, and he wasn't trying to be something that he wasn't. And I think he was another one that influenced a lot of these other rappers in the fashion. Now, I know that fashion doesn't have to do with a lot of things, but the way that he dressed and everything like that, you didn't have to wear a jersey, you didn't have to be toting guns and wear bandanas and things like that. You can be from the suburbs and be a rapper. It's okay. As far as who else is on my Mount Rushmore, man, this is a hard question you've asked me. I would give it to you got to give it to Jay-Z. Like, one thing big, like, nobody sells more records than him. Nobody does more things than him. Like, traveling the country, traveling the world tour, marrying Beyonce alone should get you onto the Mount Rushmore of rappers. Nobody does it bigger than Jay-Z. He's got more, as far as being a lyricist, like, Jay-Z's one of the best ever. Like, nobody's ever accused Jay-Z of having a ghostwriter or anything like that. Jay-Z wrote his own stuff. And last but not least, oh man, I'm gonna have to go new school, and I feel like I'm gonna get killed for this. But because I tend to be more of a new school fan than an old school fan, I'm gonna have to put Drake on my Mount Rushmore. Y'all, stop throwing stuff at me. But you gotta give it at this point, Drake is a legend in the game. Like Drake has dropped many classic albums. You want to talk about lyrics? Like, yeah, Drake has been accused of having some people write some lines or songs for him, but so like I don't care. Like all of his lyrics aren't written by somebody else, and Drake has written some songs for some other people. So when it comes to hits, when it comes to lyrics, when it comes to being able to like sing and being able to rap and being able to like have like those like really go hard hits and like the make you think hits, the I'm about to sit in the car and cry about my ex hits, like all that stuff. I think Drake does it. Now I'm aware this says Mount Rushmore of musicians, not Mount Rushmore of rappers, but I decided to make it about the Mount Rushmore of rappers because I wanted to talk about hip hop. But if we actually did musicians, I would have different people on there. I'm well aware that those are not the 4 greatest musicians of all time. But great question. Thank you so much for the question, Mafioso Live, for the fam question with an M. All right. So that brings us pretty much to the end of the show. And you guys know we like to end the show with one of our underground or under the radar rappers or musicians. And this week, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, but this week's artist is going to be Brent Faiyaz. Now, I know a lot of you people may be looking at this and like, well, if you're like really into music, you know that Brent Faiyaz is not necessarily that underground of an artist. In case you didn't know you have heard a Brent Faiyaz song before. Forgive me, I mispronounced that again. But he was on the Emmy-nominated song Crew with GoldLink. He's the one singing, and you can see money all around me. It should look like I'm the man. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know you've heard that song before. If you haven't, then you just don't listen to music. But anyway, he's the guy who sung that. Now, his first single was titled Natural Release. It was dropped on SoundCloud way long time ago, and he dropped I guess you would call it an EP or a mixtape, whatever you want to call it, called AM Paradox. That is what got him the attention of GoldLink. They put him on the Crew song and with Shy Glizzy, and it blew up. And yeah. Now not now, but on October the 13th, in 2017, he released his album Sunder Son. Forgive me if I mispronounced that too. I can't talk. I don't know what's going on. But he released his debut album Sunder Son, and it's a real smooth album. It's a good R&B album. Like, and I know a lot of people, if you in music circles, if you listen to a lot of music. Just like I said, like maybe 2 episodes ago, a lot of people were like, well, there's no good R&B artists anymore. There is good R&B artists. You just have to look for them. Like, they're out there. And hopefully I was able to put you on to somebody new. So go on to Tidal or Apple Music or wherever you want to go and take a listen to Sunder Son if you're looking for some smooth R&B songs. So I do want to thank you guys so much for watching. This has been episode 4 of BPTV Tunes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. You can see it right below here. Binge Play TV. And if you're a new artist and you want us to be featured, or you want to be featured on BPTV Tunes, have your music put out there, all you got to do is make sure you're subscribed to us, make sure you follow us on Instagram, and email us your mixtape at bingeplaytalks@gmail.com. One more time, that's bingeplaytalks@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for watching. We love the response that we've been getting. We love you. Adios.